how you doing? This is the Budget King. I want to tell you about Anchor. First off, it's where I make my podcast. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, like Stitcher, you name it. They pretty much let them go anywhere, which you can help out too. You can make money from your podcast with no listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. All right, let me tell you what you do. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Peace. On to the next part of the show. It's time for you to listen to the non-politically biased blue-collar tip specialist, James Davis. He is an expert on cord cutting, bill negotiations. He is an interweb specialist. When it comes to all-around entertainment and budgeting, no one beats the Budget King.
First off, if you just listen to my introduction song, man, I deserve a Grammy or something like that. Or what's one of them joke awards? That would be funny too. But I just got on Reddit and Tumblr. I refuse to do Facebook. I don't like Facebook. Well, first off, it's just too personal. I really don't. Honestly, I gotta be honest. I really don't care what my friends in high school are doing. I mean, I liked them back then, but you know, it isn't like we chose to be in a membership club together. It just happened to be we lived within a close area, and we grew up together. But it doesn't mean for the rest of my life I have to stay linked to them, even though many of them are great people. Many of them are. I mean, it isn't that I don't care what they ate last night or how their family reunion went or when they went on vacation, how much their kids enjoy Disney World. It isn't that I don't care about that stuff. Well, I guess I don't. I really don't care about that stuff. Never mind. But I see people checking their Facebook, and it is kind of nerve-wracking. I did the whole MySpace thing. I made the little GIFs. I had my music on the front page and all that. But Facebook, I thought it looked very boring, and it was just too, your news feed and all this and that. It's like, it kind of makes it tough, though, because it's a huge social aspect. And it would probably help me get followers and all that. But I'm on Twitter at @the_budget_king. _budget_king. Yeah, that's my Twitter handle. And I just did Instagram. That's @the_budget_king. And Tumblr should be The Budget King, and Reddit, The Budget King. I don't even know how none of them work. I literally just started them tonight. But social media, not big on it. I've spent most of these years either learning about web domains and web hosting and all that, and I've been a huge podcast listener. I've listened to Fighter and the Kid, Joe Rogan podcast, and I've been listening to Joe Rogan since he was on a laptop. But always been a big, huge fan of his. And Joey Diaz, he has one called The Church. So I've been a big podcast fan, and I've been more of a listener than a talker, I guess, and socializer. But it's kind of messed up. I just been too busy working. I mean, and this is an outlet where I can tell the world about other things besides Facebook and, the drama that Facebook causes. So it's, I ain't gonna knock anybody that does Facebook. I know it's a good outlet for people that are maybe can't leave their house, or people that are just into that social. They need that social thing, like me. I don't really have any listeners hardly, but I don't care. I'm still kicking out these podcasts as if I was famous. But if you haven't listened, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Come on, let's push it. You know what? I get a bunch of subscribers. Maybe I can start giving away stuff. That'd be cool, huh? I don't know what I give away. I guess it depends on how much money I make off of this and how many subscribers I get and all that good stuff, Till then, I'll keep my job. And my job is being a truck driver. Obviously, I don't make these while I'm driving a truck. I just make them driving to and from work in my car. Some days I drive a Volkswagen, and that's a 2019 Volkswagen. It's a newer one. It's not a regular one, though. It's one of the sportier ones. And then I have this Equinox, and it's a Chevy Equinox, and we love our Equinox. It's a 2012. Me and my wife both love it. It's our favorite car. She wants to always drive it. I always want to drive it, and ain't gonna knock the Chevy Equinox, because this bad boy feels like a cockpit sitting in it. It's a very comfortable ride. It's it's just nice. It does have the Pioneer Premium sound. When we got it pretty much with most of the bells and whistles. It's got the bigger rims, the fancier clad rims. It's got the dual exhaust. It's got the V6, and we love our Equinox. We paid like $34 for it, and that's pretty much in 2012. That's pretty much the most premium you can get it. We walked in, we bought it off the showroom. We were considering getting a different color, and we were gonna go talk about it, and we seen this sitting in there, and this actually had the better rims, and we were like, yeah, that's the one we want right there. I know it's kind of hard to get excited about a four-door car. I mean, you think we were looking at a Porsche the way we were acting. But yeah, we love our Chevy Equinox. We really do. And I would say the 2012, it had less problems than some of the other ones. Now, mind you, it did have some type of a problem about 60,000 miles in, where our alternator and our battery gave us problems. We were actually down at a funeral, and it gave us some problems, but we had to have the Chevy dealership take it and fix it. We didn't have to pay, but warranty paid $700 for a new battery and a alternator. So I don't know if that was a total cost or whatever. Like I said, I had to pay like $100 deductible or whatever, but whatever warranty company we had, I think it was still through Chevy, they actually paid for our hotel room down there. They would have bought us a rental car or a hotel. They got us a hotel, and we got our baby fixed. And so we did get newer tires on it, and we actually got some generic ones that were rated very high at Walmart. Only paid like $65 a piece for the tires. I know it sounds cheap, but tell you what, they're better than the Michelins. I wish I knew what brand they were. But the car itself, very good riding car. Very good riding car. The Volkswagen we have, it It has, it's very good on turns and all that. This car here, the Equinox, does have some stiffer steering and all that. I should probably tell you what kind of Volkswagen we have. It's a R-Line Passat. And I got to be honest, not a fan. Okay, this car in front of me, they must be really scared of the curves. Maybe because it's 30 degrees outside and they're afraid they're icy. That gave me an opportunity to take a drink of my soda again. By the way, I'm drinking Coca-Cola. I would advise you not to drink it. It's a devil's fluid. Pop is horrible for you. I'm old, so it ain't like my teeth will be falling out soon anyways, and I'm not as healthy as most people that would probably be listening to a podcast. So yeah, don't drink soda. Drink water, even though water has no personality. It's got the personality of a rock. It kind of tastes like rock too. It kind of tastes sedimenty. Water does. Water's got to be nice and cold, and yeah, I got to be really thirsty to want to drink water. I mean, it just sucks. Water sucks. Water sucks, and Chevy Equinoxes are awesome. So, if you said, "Hey James, whatever, Jim or James, I'm the budget king. Would you trade that for a Cadillac, a newer Corvette, or a Porsche?" Nope. We want to drive this thing till the wheels fall off. I hear other old people where they talk about their Nova or this car or that car. This is that car for us. My wife and I, this is the very first brand new car we ever bought. And we love it. And, one time I thought there was like this flex sensor that was going bad, right? And I got the flex sensor. You might have heard me talk about it in a podcast where I ordered a flex sensor from Rock Auto. Well, I did get it very quickly. And thank you very much, Rock Auto. You sent it very quick. But when I was down there changing it, I looked over, and unfortunately, we live out in the country, and either a squirrel or a mouse or something chewed into our wiring. And it was about a foot over from the sensor. Like I said, I still changed the sensor because I'm like, might as well change it. It's right here. So I changed it. And then I had to fix the wiring. So, yeah, it's not a mouse-proof car. But what's nice is the seats go down, and we've carried many things in here, and it has the little thing on top. I've carried furniture on top. I've carried stuff in the back, and I'm telling you, the 2012 Chevy Equinox with a V6, it's a great car, really is. Unfortunately, it was once worth $34,000. Now I think it's worth about $5,000 or $6,000. So, do they hold their value? No car does, unless you got a '57 Chevy or something like that, a classic car. Certain cars, a Grand National. Tell you what, you get yourself a hold of a Grand National. That was a badass Buick, the Buick Grand National. Look that puppy up if you've never heard of one. Fast. So, that goes to say, our next car, I'm not sure what it's going to be. We're so up and down. Do we buy used? Do we buy another new? It's hard. Once you've bought 2 new cars, and some people are like, oh my God, how are you the budget king and you're buying new cars? There's something about when you budget certain things and other things you don't. First off, I like having the full warranty on a vehicle. You can go buy yourself a used vehicle. Maybe you'll get, 10,000 miles left on a used warranty or something like that. But I like to know that no matter what happened to that car, I'm the one that did it to it. The seats are new. Everything's just new and clean. And, if you're able to, if it's within your budget, buy yourself a new car. Some people are like, oh, I would never buy used. They lose their value right away. So what? Makes you feel good. And it ain't like I'm trying to show off. Hey, look at me. I bought a new Volkswagen Passat. It's a $20-something thousand car. The Equinox. It looked fancy because it had the bigger rims and which the R line does too. But man, they lose their value quick. Shoot, pretty soon this 2012 car will probably be more valuable than a 2019 Volkswagen. So, yeah, I mean, you buy whatever you can afford if it's in your budget. Ain't like it's a brand new Cadillac. But the 2012 Chevy Equinox, like I said, I would just about buy another used one, but I know my wife has taken very good care of this car. She's been the main driver of it. And, everything works. All the electrical stuff works. It's like I said, it's a great car. And, yeah, I'm just saying, if you're in the market for a car, if you get hold of a 2012, this one's got 126,000 miles on it. I have a feeling it's going to go for another 100,000 or so, or more. Something goes wrong, I'll just fix it. Of course, I do all the oil changes. I don't trust nobody because I know I put very good oil in it. I put a good filter in it, and yeah, so I'm going to trust it. If you get a brand new car, and it's kind of weird because you might do it the same. I do the same thing in my Volkswagen. I change the oil. I don't take it to the Volkswagen dealership. I make sure I put the right oil in it, and I do all that myself too. I don't trust the dealerships as much as I trust myself. And as long as you keep the receipts or whatever, yeah, you're good. All right, enough about the car situation. Yeah, Chevy Equinox. Yeah, I really honestly believe the 2012 Chevy Equinox is the best car made in the last 20 years. Why? Well, a couple of reasons. This thing is like a tank. It's about 1,000 pounds heavier than my car. I think this thing weighs like 3,000 something pounds. It has just as good a takeoff as that turbo. Actually, you know what? It's a little bit faster, I read. It's a little bit faster than that couple 1,000-pound Volkswagen I got. It's, like I said, it's got room back there. We fit a 65-inch LED flat screen TV, still in the box. Okay, not saying all boxes are the same, at an angle, and it fit in here just fine. We didn't lay it flat. It was at an angle, so, and don't worry, that TV worked great. Still working great. Okay. Like I said, it's got the rack on top, so I've strapped many things down up there. Is it hard to get it down from there? Sure it is. You need other people sometimes. I've got other ways. I use a board. But, they're like, oh, get a minivan. Minivans suck. I'm talking about something that looks good or good enough, rides great. Like I said, going down the road, this car is, well, some people 8 years old ain't very old, but this car is 8 years old, and it rides so smooth. It rides great. It's got really good feel, like the steering wheel feels great. Just everything's great. Am I going to brag about my car that, well, it's a year old now, my other car? Heck no. I mean, I don't even care for Chevy that much. I wish they made a good truck. Sorry, Chevy. I like my F-150s. I don't have one, but I like them. I was going to talk about something else, but I cannot stop talking about my love of this 2012 Chevy Equinox. It's sickening that this thing has to age just as I do. You know, one day this car will break down, and I swear me and my wife will probably bury it in the backyard and give it a tombstone. Because if there's something awesome about trusting the fact that your vehicle is going to start. Sure, it did give us problems at one point. It got us to where we had to go. It got us to the funeral. It got us right where I needed to be. And then it broke down right there. And like I said, it was still within warranty. But since then, you know, I got me one of the little $2, $3 things off of eBay to check the computer, and that's when I had that deal with the flex sensor thing. Like I said, I ended up fixing that problem, but, you know, occasionally we'll get some kind of weird light on here and there, but, you know, they go away. You know, but as far as starting, as far as running, this is a badass car. It really is. And, I mean, the dash is great. The plastic's great. You know, some people, they think, oh, it's kind of cheap plastic. No. Trust me. Compared to a lot of these newer cars, this is a great car. I look at a lot of cars. This right here is a fine automobile. It's got a sunroof. It's got the electric sunroof and all that stuff. It slides back and up and all that, but trust me, I believe in shopping for deals. Unfortunately, my last car, I was more worried about, okay, let's get a good warranty. But see, I used to take a semi to my house every day, right? So I didn't have to have a car to go back and forth to work. Well, so we had bought the secondary car for my wife so we can prolong the life on this car. But then I got a job where I have to drive to work every day now. So, and it was for the better. And that's how I get to do these podcasts. But unfortunately, one day I'll take one car, another day we'll take a different car. But right now, with the winter time, this car is great on snow. Them little cheap tires I got at Walmart for like $65. I feel like I should look them up for you, just in case. I just don't know if they'll keep recording. So maybe I'll save that for another podcast. But this car is great, and snow has never been stuck. I live in northern Indiana. Ask me how many times I've plowed. And this has only got two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. I've never plowed my driveway. I'll go back and forth in this thing till I get out, because it's heavy enough. And I'm telling you, man, this car, it does that little anti-vibration thing if you start slipping on ice, like where it's got a backup camera. But if you can buy a 2012 Chevy Equinox, man, I'm telling you, a used one with all the bells and whistles, jump on that thing. Jump on it. Now, I can't say the same about the four-cylinders, because they had some problems. And when I seen that, I told my wife, I'm like, man, I'm glad we opted for the six-cylinder, because that four-cylinder has some kind of recall over fuel consumption or something like that. I don't know. So I'm not even sure what I started talking about at the beginning of the podcast. It turned into me and my Chevy Equinox. But I will continue on here. I will shorten this podcast by saying, don't care what Kelly Blue Book says. Don't care what a lot of them admin says. Don't care what the reviews say. I put 126,000 miles on it, it's at least me and my family. Yeah, we ran into a little problem. It got fixed. And it didn't get fixed, like I said, $100. You know? That's it. We had no other problems. You know, we changed the spark plugs. You know, but like I said, 126,000. And it wasn't running bad. It's just like, you know what, we should probably change the spark plugs. That'd probably be a good idea. You know. But when it went past its warranty, we're like, oh shit. We're over the warranty now. We bought the extended warranty. Tell you what, if you're buying a Chevy Equinox, I guess the extended warranty did come into play. So, yeah, I believe in buying an extended warranty. So, but, you know, where they try to upsell you on keeping your upholstery clean and this and that, don't get that. That's some new thing that they're pushing on car buyers. In the case of the Volkswagen, it was already on there. Then they turn around and charge me $2,000. They're like, yeah, well, you know, if you want the warranty for it, there's a white car. I figured, well, I better get it. That was stupid. So, yeah, we'll just keep driving this car until we get 250, 300,000 miles on it, I guess. But if you have a favorite car, and if this is on YouTube, if it's on my podcast, give me a message and brag at me about your awesome car. You know, go to thebudgetking.com, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see something about leave a message. That's a place you can leave a voice message. And maybe I'll leave it on one of my podcasts where you can talk about the high mileage. You know, try to keep it short. Try to keep it within a minute. I say, yeah, man, I got myself a Vega from 1980, which I know this would be a lie because them things are pieces of shit. But I got a 1980 Vega. It was my grandfather's. He's never changed the oil. It went 600,000 miles. You know, whatever. I'm just saying, you know. All right. So I told you where you catch me at thebudgetking.com. You can, yeah. At Twitter, it's at @the_budget_king. Instagram, it's at thebudgetking. But yeah, you catch me on YouTube. Just look up the Budget King podcast and all that good stuff. And remember, if you need to get a website or a domain name and you want to have it forwarded to your Facebook page or whatever, you know, you can go buy yourself a domain space. It ain't that 99 cents the first year and then a whole bunch of money each additional year. It's $13 a year. You buy for multiple years or whatever. Go to cyberlandhomes.com and buy yourself a domain name and web space or whatever. But domain names, like I said, $13 a year for a .com. Then they got .net and .this and .that. And yeah, I don't know all the other stuff, but Cyberland Homes, that's CYBERLANDHOMES.com. All right, folks, that's it for the podcast. I guess I mainly just rambled on about my love of my Equinox. So that's it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.